Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges of Blaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leather Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace. Oh, wait. That's us. Ta-da.
That's me.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome to episode 146 of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TBT. That guy over there, that's Ace. Welcome. If you're in the chat, be sure to say hi. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so we can bug you when we go live once a week. And, join the chat. Our regulars are in there. Including Mama TBT, Mrs. TBT. I don't know what in the world just happened to you.
What did you do?
What have you done?
I'm sitting here.
Holy I can't do the show like this.
I'm just sitting here.
You looked down and everything flipped. You're gonna have to fix that. I can't handle that. Can I flip you myself? It's your phone or iPad or whatever you're using.
You're the controller.
Oh no, I don't control you.
How's that?
It's much better.
Oh, are you kidding me? All I had to do was flip it.
Well, yeah, that's it. That was probably better than Frozen Ace.
Flippy Ace.
Yeah, now Ace is flipping. I gotta say hi, of course, to the Viper, who noticed that you went from Fuzzy Ace to Sideways Ace. And of course, our extraordinary, lame, and pretty much doesn't do a whole lot extraordinaire, Natalie. She hasn't banned anybody. She's probably going to ban us. But I've noticed that she's not done a whole lot in like the last week. You're getting lame this week because you're slacking on the social media posts. You're slacking on hair and makeup because I had to yell at Ace about his hair already. It's horrible. It's ridiculous. I think it's just the week. We got a lot of news to cover. There's actually a lot of stuff, none of which pertains to death of one of our idols. Thank goodness. We're past that for a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you did see there was another death, right?
Oh, don't bring up Lonnie.
Lonnie Anderson, of all people.
WKRP will never be the same.
Well, no, it's been canceled.
Oh, yeah. For like a long time.
That was just kind of out of the blue. I mean, we've been hit left and right. You know, not that this is the same impact.
Right.
As Ozzy Osbourne or Hulk Hogan, you know, but Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away prior to that. I mean, they're just coming in waves. Isn't it the heat?
I didn't read a whole lot of Malcolm Jamal Warner's, but my understanding is that it was a drowning. Like he was trying to save his daughter or niece or something like that while they were on vacation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's even more tragic.
Yeah, we'll touch a little bit more on Ozzy here in a little bit because we do have news on his actual cause of death that's been released, and some of you may be shocked at what was the actual cause of death versus what everybody figured it was. So we'll get into that a little bit later. We do have breaking news that's coming across right now as we speak. Ace went to a country concert.
Well, I object to the country layer terminology for Chris Stapleton, because I don't feel like he's exactly. He falls into a country rock, blues, whatever he wants to do kind of category. But I went to Chris Stapleton over the weekend with my son, and this guy did 2 nights at Ruoff, formerly known as Deer Creek, always Deer Creek to me, and did 2 nights, sold out, jam packed with people. And first thing I noticed was the age group was so different than what I expected.
Really?
I was, yeah, I was expecting people to be my age or older, because I feel like he leans toward that outlaw country sound,
right,
a little bit, and a bluesier sound, and just an eclectic type, whatever he feels like doing. Nope, I was wrong. If there were anyone over 60 there, I would be shocked.
No kidding.
Most of that crowd was under 30. Most of that crowd was under 30. Over half was female.
That part's not surprising.
No, I have learned that young females like country concerts.
So now you're calling it
they
country.
go, stop. We have to throw a label on it. We're going to throw a label on it. You said country, well, fucking say country.
Well, yeah, I just
But
Googled it, and it says Chris Stapleton, comma, country musician. You can't argue with
but
the
he's
Googles.
better. But he's better than what you hear on the radio most of the time, because most of the time what you hear on the radio is not even country, it's pop. We've had this discussion for years now. We've had this discussion.
We will have it for years longer.
Right, because if he's doing country music, he's doing it well, because it's not pop, it's not delving off into tailgate parties and sundown hay bale drinking 4As and all this BS they put into country music these days. So I got to see someone who really cares about doing music and doing it well. The guy was pitch perfect. Pitch perfect.
Did he do a tribute to? Did he do a tribute to Ozzy?
He did not.
Lame.
You know why?
Chris Staple, lame
country musician.
Oh, okay.
So, no, there was no tribute to Ozzy.
Here's
why. Okay, I'm glad you asked. Here's what's different is that it was a guy named Aaron Stone who apparently was on American Idol. I don't know that, but I was told that. And he is a soul singer. So, see, we had a soul act opening for a guy who does all kinds of different types of music that he incorporates into a country sound. Soul, jazz, blues, whatever. And so, yeah, and Aaron Stone was really good, really good. I was entertained totally by that guy.
I have to say I've never heard of him.
I have not either till that day.
Well, and do not Google it, because it will come up with the 2009 sci-fi Disney Channel television show called Aaron Stone.
Well, maybe he was the star of that.
Maybe I should spell it correctly, because maybe is it Aaron?
It's Aaron. What else would there be?
ARONERINERON.
No, ERIN is a girl. Aaron is everyone else.
Well, I agree. Do I have to put in singer? Singer.
Are you okay? Do you know how to Google?
Yeah, I'm on Google. Aaron Stone is the name of the vocalist for the American rock band My Epic, according to a band interview on YouTube. I've never heard of this guy.
Well, he has records out. They are on streaming services that I have looked at. He was really good. Very laid back, mellow, soul type stuff. He probably played 45 minutes. He had a good chunk of time.
Really?
Yeah. Stapleton didn't come on till 9. So this guy had almost an hour.
I'm going to tell you how much of an impression he made on you. He made so much of an impression on you that his name's not even Aaron.
Oh, what is it?
It's Alan.
Alan, that's it. Alan. I could have looked up my searches, but I didn't.
It's Alan Stone, soul and R&B artist.
He's not a big star yet. From where?
Washington. He's not a big star. He's not big enough for Ace to actually know his name. It's not even
I don't need to
Ron.
remember. It's Alan Stone, by the way. The guy was good.
Maybe it's Arnold Stone. That's what Viper said. Maybe it's Arnold Stone. Holy moly!
Regardless,
right.
He was good. He had a good length of time. Did well with it, and Stapleton came out though, and that's what everyone was there for. And he was fantastic, pitch perfect. His band is tight. We always talk about sounding like the record, and that's where we run into issues with tracks and things like that.
Yeah,
he sounded just like the record, only he does it because he's good.
Right.
You're
talking about Chris Stapleton, right?
Correct. Not Aaron.
Not Aaron Stone.
Right. And what's really cool, his wife is always out on stage with him doing backup vocals and harmonies. She is just as important. Yeah, right. She always is, always has been, but she is just as important to his sound as he is, because her harmony is so amazing.
So
kidding. Amazing. So it was a good time, and he played 27 songs.
Holy crap.
27 songs. Yeah, he did a little cover of Free Bird that was excellent. For the Southern rock type thing he likes to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what I hear, we have a mutual friend that went to night one, and the set was even a little different on night one than night two, just a little bit. Yeah. So he shakes it up a little bit, and it was a perfect night. It was in the 70s, not hot, just perfect night to go to a concert. It was worth it.
1, 2, 3.
And at the moment, it's my last concert of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because the one I had Friday has been unceremoniously canceled. So.
Right. Yeah. I've got one more. I think one more coming up, and that's Billy Idol.
Right. I wanted to go to that. I'd like to go to that and take the wife, but I got to find a way to pay for it.
I'm just going to see Steve Stevens.
Well, all he's going to do is play guitar. I don't get it.
The opening act for that is going to be Joan Jett. It'll be good. I've seen Joan Jett I don't know how many times, and she's always
good.
Yeah, always good. But that should be pretty good. I've never really been a big Billy Idol fan, but for me, he's another one of those artists that he's getting up there in age, and at some point, he's just going to say, "All right, no more." He may still record, but touring will end up coming to an end. So, I'm looking forward.
He's taking a big break anyway, hasn't
he? Yes.
He's not been real active anyway.
Yeah.
He's got this new record out that he's touring with, but he's not been real active anyway.
But it'll be pretty good. I think, I don't even know. I gotta look at his tour dates real quick. I know it's August 30th is when he's going to be at Deer Creek Ruoff, whatever we want to call it. And let's see, August 14th is the next date. So that's 8 days away. So he's not even got anything going on right now. And this tour, or at least this leg of it, goes through September 28th, where it winds up in Las Vegas, and then kicks up a month later with one date in Santiago de Quintero, and then goes to Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Colombia, and then finally winding up November 30th in Mexico.
Wow. So he's going a little bit international with it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So it looks pretty good. And I think I think the opening act for this entire tour is Joan Jett. So, which is great. I mean, I'm surprised he's not taken somebody out that is an up and coming. Not that I'm not impressed with the fact that I'm actually glad he's taken Joan Jett instead. But it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good. He does have a VIP package available where you can do a photo meet and greet with Billy Idol and Steve Stevens.
Hey, there you go. You get to meet Steve.
Don't tempt me. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click VIP options and just see how much this would set me back.
You do that. I'm going to step over here.
Are you going to step or roll? Don't roll and don't make your crap flip over.
Too late. It's flipping. I think it's cool though that Joan just relentlessly tours. Like she never stops. I don't think she ever has stopped.
I don't think so.
I don't think she's put a record out in a very long time, but that really doesn't matter. She made her bones, years ago with hits.
She's getting so much royalty off the stuff that she's already done. WWE was paying royalty there for a while when, her song was being used for Ronda Rousey. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have to. She's probably one of those that was very, that saved her money. She's very careful.
Bad reputation has been used not just for Rousey, but for TV shows, movies. It's been covered a handful of times. That one, I Love Rock and Roll has probably made her the most money. The second one would be that one, Bad Reputation. It would be my guess.
I think so. Yeah. Easily.
What's Steve costing you?
Her last album was 2023.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. The album was called Mindsets in 2023. She did Change Up in 2022. But yeah, she's cranked some stuff out. It took 10 years to get something out between 1994 and 2004. So,
one thing I like too is that she does covers really well. She a lot of her catalog and hits are covers, but she does them so well.
Yeah,
makes them her own. I like that. Ace Frehley's like that too. He always throws a couple covers on a record. If he doesn't do a covers album, he does a couple on the record that he's doing.
Well, I mean, I Love Rock and Roll is a cover.
Exactly. That was the Arrows.
Yep. Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Exactly.
The Arrows. And you know what? It's not, her version's not that far off from the original at all.
Yeah. And technically she remade her own song, Bad Reputation, because that was actually a solo song. And then she redid it with the Blackhearts. For real, I'm just saying. I don't count it, but still.
It's all solo.
Yeah. She's done Dirty Deeds from AC/DC.
Oh, that covers a record was really good.
Yep.
I actually, that was the first one I bought of hers, was that covers album. Yeah.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I can't remember the last country show that I went to, or Southern rock, whatever you want to call it. Because it's just not my thing. But I'm glad to hear it was good. And you went with your son, right?
Right. You have to open your mind.
Oh, my mind's open, and it said no. I buried my dog by the barn in my Ford truck. Wouldn't run. That's my rendition.
On the spot. He just came up with that. That's how talented TBT is. That's a hit right there.
Or how easy country music is. Oh, I'm going to get hate mail for that one. Sorry.
Well, Stapleton's not like that. Not like that at all.
Hey, well, most country artists, I don't know if it's most, but quite a lot of them don't write their own songs anyway.
A lot of them don't. They just get things thrown at them and do this.
Viper, I've already copyrighted that, so you're a little too late. He was going to copyright Chat TBT. Already done.
Do you like Billy Joel at all?
I used to.
Yeah, there's a great documentary on HBO Max now.
Really?
Little two-parter that they put out that's very comprehensive of his career. And they interview, of course, him and everyone in his band and around him and all of that. But it's a really, really good career trajectory, comprehensive documentary that came out, well, just a couple weeks ago, matter of fact. I think mainly they want to get it on record, you know, the history of Billy Joel, kind of, because he's got this brain issue going on as well that stopped him from performing.
Right.
So before anything else happens health wise, who knows what's going to happen? You know, let's get this down on record. And a lot of cool old photos that, you know, behind the scenes things we don't normally see. And there's home video in it from him and his first wife, and then time with him and Christy Brinkley. That was really interesting. And just an excellent documentary. If you ever get a chance to watch it, sit down and watch it.
The like a lot of people, I was introduced to Billy Joel by the Keeping the Faith video. You know, the courtroom and all that. Yeah, that was my introduction. That wasn't my thing, was, you know, that type of music. And there were a few things after that I liked, but I never really followed him.
I think you're right, because you know, that was 83, an Innocent Man.
Yep.
1980 was Glass Houses. That was the first one I knew.
Okay.
That one. I didn't know The Stranger or anything before that.
Yeah.
For a long, long time. So you may be right. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes a fantasy. Those songs.
Well, yeah, the Uptown Girl, The Longest Time.
Yeah.
Those were all songs off that same album, and they were getting
off Innocent Man.
Yeah, constant airplay. You know, Casey Kasem, we're talking 83. So you're 83, 84, that whole era right there. You know, that's what you would hear. So, but I never really caught on.
Well, and what's really cool, like Digital Viper just brought up, We Didn't Start the Fire. Yep. What I found fascinating, and I knew a little bit about this, but not enough, but he was swindled out of a lot of money by his manager, which was his ex-brother-in-law. Upwards of $100 million or so. He sued him for 90 million, guessing that's kind of where the ball were in. This is after An Innocent Man, with all the songs you just mentioned, Glass Houses, The Stranger, all the touring. This is 1987, 88, where he should be well established financially. And Christy Brinkley, they interview her, and she talks about it. They went on a little vacation, you know, up through Maine and such, and people would stop them in these little towns and tell him, "Oh, we remember when you came up here and bought this piece of property, remember? Oh, yeah, you own that house over there. Oh, you bought a horse off of me," that sort of thing. And she's like, "We don't own any of those things. What are you talking about?"
No.
So when they did an audit, they found out that all this money has been swindled and misspent and missing. And now Billy Joel, who should be a multimillionaire, is almost virtually broke. Virtually broke, right? So, you know, you could, you know, crawl up in a hole and not do anything, or you could try to make your money back as best you can, right? And what is amazing to me is that not only did he tour to make his money back, but he also put out that Stormfront record with probably his biggest hit, We Didn't Start the Fire. Not just that, Shameless is on there. I Go to Extremes is on there, which is a great song.
What year was this? 89?
That was 89.
Okay.
It was 89. I mean, this is a guy who's already been around since 1971 or 72.
Sure.
You know, well established, and made a lot of money that is now, you know, gone, and made all that money back within a few years. And this is when he was ready to slow down. He's ready to slow down. He's got a wife. He's got a kid. You know, he doesn't want to be on the road all the time. But he's also got the luxury of doing multiple nights at Yankee Stadium, multiple nights at Madison Square Garden, things like that. And at the end of his career, when he could not be maybe putting out the best record, he puts out one of the best records he ever did.
Right.
Stormfront To me, that's just an amazing story.
Well, one thing about Billy Joel is I'll never get over the fact that for a song called Piano Man, the guy on the harmonica just won't shut up.
Right.
You know.
He also did those tours with Elton John, now that you
Yes.
mention it. And did that, he said, for 16 years, touring with Elton John. And think of the money that made.
Oh, yeah. Buku.
Right. And that's without having to put out new music. You know, I saw him at Market Square Arena during the Stormfront tour, and I thought that was one of the best shows I'd ever seen. It was so much fun.
Well, and it's nice when you as an artist, and this is why I say that the 80s, nothing will ever compare to the music of the 80s. Because a lot of the bands that we talk about, the ones that we follow, and then solo artists like Billy Joel and Phil Collins, outside of Genesis, their legacy are songs from that time, 81, 82, through for in some cases 91, 92. But that whole era, and this is somebody like you said, he should have plenty of green in the bank.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
And
We Are the World. He was one of the artists in that, and that's a big thing because that didn't include everybody. It was almost the who's who of music of that time. But
and it's amazing that this guy was this prolific as well, because from day one, he's putting out great songs. They didn't always have the traction to be big hits, because he didn't have a big hit until The Stranger. But before that, even those songs, even those albums that you may not know as well, it's still great stuff.
Yeah.
And just to be that prolific for that long, and then to end up in a spot where you have to make money back. I have to put out a great record. And you do. That's what really impresses me.
Yeah, for sure. Is he on tour anywhere?
No, he can't tour. That was one of the problems with this whole illness that he has,
Yeah.
is that he had to stop touring. I don't think that means he can't play or compose or something like that, but the strain of performing is too much for this illness that he has.
Well,
I would look it up, but
he announced, I don't remember when it was. So it was back in May. He canceled all of his scheduled concerts following a diagnosis of NPH. Not even going to try to say those words, but the condition has been exacerbated by recent concert performances, leading to problems with hearing, vision, and balance. Under his doctor's instructions, Billy is undergoing specific physical therapy and has been advised to refrain from touring because he had a buttload of dates scheduled for this summer, running through like parts of next year, spring, maybe early summer. And that was with Stevie Nicks. So could you have imagined that? Billy Joel and Rod Stewart, Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks. Those would have been some great shows. Sting was supposed to be some of those.
Right. And Sting was interviewed in this. Springsteen extensively. Mellencamp appears in this documentary. A handful of others talking about his songwriting style and how it affected them, and just how impressed they were with how good he was or is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. You said it's on HBO Max.
Yes, and the first part is a lot of the musical aspects of everything. The second episode covers everything else. So I'm into the part now where he's into the classical music that he's writing and wrote.
Right.
And when he decided to stop creating music for public consumption, and why he did that, which I always thought was fascinating too. Here's a guy that put out, like I said, Stormfront, and then puts out one more record, River of Dreams, and stops.
Yeah.
And just stops. And he still could have went on and went on and went on, but he didn't see the point.
Well,
he ran out, he said whatever he wanted to say.
Right.
Basically.
It probably would have been able to sell out every single night of that tour.
Oh, well, definitely. And he was selling out these dates he had at Madison Square Garden routinely, just all the time.
Yeah.
Which he's from New York, and that's his bailiwick. But
Right.
I know he already did this tour with Stevie Nicks at one point, and it was doing well. That was maybe a summer ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now, doesn't that seem like an odd pairing a bit? I mean, not that you can't, you're not going to go to that and hear great music, but one is this piano-driven, kind of crazy rock stuff, and then you have this ethereal witch spinning around on stage, singing about crystal visions. It's kind of different. I would think the crowd would be divided. I'm here for
for
Billy.
sure.
I'm here for Stevie.
Yeah. Okay. Now I hope it happens again because I want to go to it just for that atmosphere.
I do too. I hope that whatever he's doing is something that helps this condition,
right?
And it's not something that is so permanent he could never play again, because I think that would be sad.
Very much so. Jumping into the news, don't forget that's on HBO Max, the Billy Joel story, wherever the name of it is. Check that out because it's going to be pretty good.
And so it goes.
That's the name of the entire series.
And so it goes.
And so it goes. Cause of death has finally been revealed in the death of Ozzy Osbourne. Many people speculated that it was part of his Parkinson's, which I can tell you, yes, was a contributing factor. However, come to find out, Ozzy died of a heart attack that he had in his home. The the death certificate, which was released, says that he also suffered from coronary artery disease, and listed his occupation as songwriter, performer, and rock legend. I mean, you can't get much better than that. It further stated that Ozzy died out of hospital. Now, this was in England, so they word things differently. Out of hospital cardiac arrest, acute myocardial infarction, coronary artery disease, and Parkinson's disease with autonomic dysfunction, which are joint issues. With the document saying out of hospital, that just means it was, literally what it says, not in a hospital. All the reports of, the helicopter that showed up and landed and worked on him and all that stuff, that's all came out to be true as well. Excuse me. But if you think about, I think we've already mentioned this with Hulk Hogan. His was a heart attack as well. So,
right.
Here we go. Both legends that we lost in the same week, both of them having heart attacks. So sad news, but messages are starting to come out from Ozzy's kids. Jack just put one out the other day. It may have been just yesterday. So, progress is being made as far as the healing and all that. And I'm sure we'll hear a lot more from Jack and Kelly soon. In other news, some big stuff coming out of the world of Metallica. It was last week we said there was a rumor going around that that they were in talks to do something at the Sphere in Vegas. What is up with you flipping? You did it again. This is great. For people that are listening, they have no idea what's going on. But Ace keeps saying, you're going to do that.
This is ridiculous.
This is probably the most entertaining visual that we've ever had.
What voodoo are you doing?
I don't know. Here are my hands. They're not even messing with it. Anyway, Lars Ulrich has confirmed that I guess there's talks going on, but nothing has been set in stone yet. There's no ink to paper, nothing like that, and he would love to. But one of the things that is coming from Metallica,
love to what?
Play the Sphere.
You didn't say that.
I'm pretty sure you missed it when you were flipping around. Good grief. One of the big things that has came out of the Metallica camp over the past today is that they will be playing a special intimate concert on Thursday, August 28th, to celebrate the launching of Maximum Metallica, which is a new music channel on SiriusXM. This event's going to take place at Stephen Talkhouse in Long Island, with the channel officially launching the following day on August 29th on channel 42 of SiriusXM. A recording of the show will premiere on the channel the following Monday, which is September 1st. Lars Ulrich, who was on Howard Stern's show just this morning, commented that we're back on SiriusXM, but this time it's to stay. Because they've done different stuff before where it was like Metallica week or month or whatever.
Right.
Because now it's a year-round Metallica channel. There's going to be deep cuts, live shows, rare recordings, exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes surprises. So, I mean, there's enough of their catalog to go for a very long time.
But you also might get other bands that don't get any exposure from the 80s or before. That would be pretty cool too. Some of these channels do that, where it's like Metallica radio kind of thing, where it's a mixture.
Ozzy's Boneyard.
Kenny Chesney has one. I think it's just a eclectic thing that Kenny Chesney does.
Who?
Another country guy.
Oh, okay.
Tom Petty. Tom Petty has one where it's not just Tom Petty, but it's a lot of other things that you don't normally hear. Springsteen's channel is Springsteen all the time, 24/7, and if you're a real hardcore Springsteen fan, but 24/7 all the time.
I'm pretty sure I have that channel permanently skipped.
I've listened to it in spurts because I get in moods, but yeah, all the time. Turn it on. I think it used to be channel 20 on Sirius.
It's even more pathetic that you know that.
Well, I used to torture my children sometimes when we would have long car rides.
Yeah. The good thing about this is Maximum Metallica will be available for free in all SiriusXM equipped vehicles throughout September. If you're not a SiriusXM subscriber and want to experience all the service has to offer, check out their 3 free-month trial and all that stuff. No, we are not sponsored by them. Oh, that's an idea. Huh. In more Metallica news, this one I think's pretty cool. They're Mr. Flippity Flip Flop.
All I'm doing is pulling up stories that you moved to.
You've got I think you're clicking on one and it's affecting the other.
How does my iPad affect my phone?
Because you have an iPhone, right?
Yes.
They're connected. I can run my iPad while on my Apple computer and my phone all at once.
But why today?
Why today? I don't know. I have no idea, but it's entertaining. Back to it. Metallica's 1991 self-titled album, The Black Album, has become the 4th studio release to ever reach a historic chart record. That record is that it has now spent a total of 800 weeks on the Billboard 200. Again, only the 4th record in history to spend that amount of time on the chart. Now, you put that into perspective, 800 weeks for, the whole record thing, that comes out to about 15 and a half years that it has been on the Billboard 200. It originally peaked, of course, at number 1 back in 1991 and currently sits at number 162 on the Billboard 200, just under 34 years later. That's insane.
And I don't know how they measure it now, but that if you're going out and getting a physical copy of that like today, that right there is amazing.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I got like I got to have that record. The others on this list were Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, which I had seen that before. That
Yep.
it had been on there forever. This one always surprises me. Bob Marley and the Wailers compilation album, Legend, came out in '84, and then Journey's Greatest Hits, 1988.
Yeah,
which is still on the chart.
Yeah. But here, you notice something about those 4 records. Only 2 of them are albums. The other 2 are compilations.
True.
So that puts the Black Album also as the youngest album to reach that chart milestone, and only the second studio album to do so. That's insane. 4 albums, and think in the big picture how many albums are released like a weekly. I won't say daily. We'll say weekly. Whether it's from popular artists or not. That is a crap ton of albums for that, those 4 to have that record. That just blows my mind.
It's hard to wrap your head around it. Yeah, and there's others that are peaking up there.
Right.
CCR with their compilation Greatest Hits. Nirvana's Nevermind. 732 Weeks for It. GNR's Greatest Hits. And then Back in Black at 644. And then Queen's Greatest Hits. But the Back in Black I thought would be even longer.
Oh, yeah, so have I.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. But apparently not. But I don't know. It just blows my mind. That's insane when you think of the amount of albums that are put out, and only 4 making it to that 800 with those others that are close behind. There was one more story coming out from somewhat related to, well, it's totally related to Metallica, a bit more about Bob Rock, because everybody wanted to flip-flop and figure out why we went from the Black Album to Load versus Reload.
All right, you just talk, and I'll just act like I know what you're talking about.
Keep flipping. A lot of people, cried foul. Were just, pissed off how we go from the Black Album to having Load and Reload. Completely different sound and all that, because you know how it is, though. A lot of fans, they want to have that exact same thing. Oh, the Black Album was so successful. I can't wait for Black Part 2. I wasn't one of those.
Here's my thing with artists, and I was thinking of this just recently because we talked about Billy Joel, and he does this. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Because if you stay the same, you become stagnant, according to critics and fans. If you change your sound, they don't sound the same, and it's terrible, and I wish they'd sound like classic Metallica or whatever. You can't win.
No.
You can't win. If you try to evolve your sound and keep up with the times, you're selling out, right? So it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, and it's just as bad, when Metallica cut their hair. Oh, they've went corporate. It's the silly things and the dumb things like that. But anyway, in this interview, Bob Rock was talking about it, and he said, basically, I don't follow the rules of metal, which is probably wrong, and I'm sorry, because his relationship with Metallica is that he's a song person, and so it doesn't matter however you style it. It's just how you do the song. I guess further on into the interview, he talks about how Lars was the kind of guy that thinks big and looks at music, kind of maybe like he does. And then all of a sudden, Lars is like, well, I like bands like Aerosmith and the Rolling Stones and Guns N' Roses. And, they end up changing their sound. And then you get what you get with Load and Reload, which personally, I love those albums. So it was just an interesting read, because that's something that people have been talking about for years.
I mean, you can complain about those records, or you can complain about Lulu. So, okay. Or you can complain about, Yeah, or you can complain about is it Saint Anger is the other one?
But see, I like Saint Anger.
There's a lot of people that don't.
Well, they don't
But
know anything. Nobody
uh,
likes Lulu.
right. So okay, I have to listen to Load or Lulu. Which one am I picking?
Load.
Right. And what I like songs off Load and Reload. King Nothing's on there, right? And Fuel and
one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Yeah, those are great songs.
What's your favorite song off of Lulu?
I don't ever have listened. I don't think I've ever listened to it. I see no point in listening to it.
I listened to it long enough to know I did not like it.
No. Yeah, I actually forgot it existed until I had to bring it up just now.
Yeah. I almost want to apologize. I'm gonna skip over the next story to move on to the one after that. We mentioned back probably in February that Mr. Big played their final show in Tokyo, and there's recently been an interview where I think it might have been with Eddie Trunk that Eric Martin, who was the vocalist for Mr. Big, was actually talking about
yesterday.
actually talking about why now? Why are they done? And really, if they're actually done. And according to this, as it was transcribed by our friends over at Blabbermouth, Eric Martin says, another soundbite from Eric Martin going, "Oh, I don't want this to happen. Well, we're no stranger to a breakup. I mean, we did this before, in 1996. Long story short, it was time. It was just time. It's not about a breakup. It was just time. It's kind of like one of those bands that just says, we don't suck. We're not, we don't all hate each other, but it's just time."
Well, if you remember when we had Billy Sheehan on and he dropped that announcement on us that this was going to be their last tour.
Yeah.
And you asked him why, basically, and he said the same thing. This was 2 years ago. He said,
"Yeah,
it's just time. It's just time for this to end and do it the right way." And we didn't even jump on it like we should have. We were kind of letting it hang and seeing what else he had to say about it. And I think we were also stunned that he's telling us on our little podcast before anyone else.
Yeah. We should have broke that bigger.
We should have
made a MySpace post about it or something.
I think I remember you saying like, it's just time, huh? Or something like that.
Huh?
And we were so inexperienced.
Well, and just the fact that, I kind of respect that there's no animosity between the members, and they're just like, you know what, time to go. Because I can tell you right now, it's not like Billy Sheehan doesn't have, 1,500 other things going on. He is always involved with something.
Right.
So
it's
that was like, good. This was a good.
It's not like Eric Martin couldn't tour on his own and just play Mr. Big songs.
Yeah, it was just a good little bit of news that came out. I guess just an article that really just reinforced the fact that it wasn't because they hated each other. It was just because it was time. And they all agreed, hugged it out and said, okay, good deal, high five and good game, and let's play this last show, and done. Will they reunite for, one-offs? Maybe. Who knows? We could see it.
You never say never in music. We all know that. And you never say that you're saying goodbye because you're lying. You're lying. And they'll probably play again at some point.
Absolutely. I'm going to save I want to save the big one for last, the one that I skipped over. I'm going to save that for last. Another interview that recently came out, and this is something that I thought was very interesting because I've always wondered how these bands can get away with, calling themselves a tribute band, and they're playing the band's music and sometimes dressing like them. But Paul Stanley, who was on Howie Mandel Does Stuff, which is Howie Mandel's podcast. I don't know.
Paul Stanley has done every podcast in the last 2 months except this one.
Exactly. So we got to get him next. There was a question basically that revolved around the fact that there are countless Kiss tribute bands that profit, from the goodwill of Kiss, if there is such a thing. And Paul Stanley said that basically there are some Kiss tributes that they've allowed. They means him and Gene, that they've allowed to continue because it's a matter of giving them the license to do it that can be revoked at any time because all the makeups and all those personas are trademarked.
Trademarked, yes.
And nobody can use them for any purpose.
That may be the only band that can do that way because of the makeup being trademarked.
Yeah.
And I know that there's been at least one or two that Kiss has kind of even endorsed.
Yeah.
As not an official tribute band, but they've thrown their names out there. That these were some pretty good ones, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I think one of them was the Little Kiss Army, or whatever they're called, Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss.
Well, they licensed. They went into a partnership with WCW back in the day when they had the Demon.
Oh, the Demon. Remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was endorsed or in correlation with Gene Simmons and Kiss.
Well, yeah, it was literally the Demon.
Later. I thought he was going to get sued, is what I thought. I don't know how much more you got with that story, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago about you and I privately about how lucrative these bands are getting now, these tribute bands.
Yeah.
Before, they would come to your local bar or little clubs and do these little tribute acts, and now they're doing big business. I mean, my gosh, how many Kiss tribute bands are there? There's probably 50 or 60 of them. Who knows? Easily, and they're all doing makeup. All of them, I guarantee it, or at least the majority. And they're probably making a lot of good money. If you're good, you're making money.
Well, not just that, but the big thing that's coming up soon, the Kiss cruise on land or landlocked in Vegas, whatever.
Right. They keep changing.
Yeah. Newly, and this is I'm reading this straight from the website. Newly included activities include a special acoustic Kiss kickoff set on Friday, along with performances from former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick, Stephen Pearcy, Warren DeMartini, and then it goes on to say Kiss tribute bands, Mr. Speed and Kiss Nation, School of Rock, comedian Craig Gass, and DJ Noahs. So they're getting recognition there, Sideways Sal, for doing these shows, and these Kiss tribute bands are going to be part of it. So it's actually kind of cool. They're not just screw them. We don't want anything to do with them. They're having them perform.
There's one, I can't remember. I'm looking it up now, trying to find it, but I want to say it's like just like 74 or something like that. I can't remember, but they are so close to classic Kiss that it's scary how good they sound.
Our moderator, Natalie, not only she says that she saw Mini Kiss in concert, not only has she seen Mini Kiss, she was in Mini Kiss for 3 straight nights.
Did they know it?
Nope.
Strutter is one.
Yeah.
That had been around for a long time. But that's a bigger name, Kiss, but you can name almost any artist now. There's ABBA tributes, there's Def Leppard tributes. There's your boys in Steel Panther. They were in a Van Halen tribute.
Halen, yeah.
Atomic Punk. The Atomic Punks, and that was an excellent. Well, and who's the guitar player for Steel Panther? Satchel.
Satchel, yeah.
Right. He was the driving force of that little version, and then he also did one of the Hagar version of Van Halen. Yeah, with a big bald guy that sounded. No, he wasn't bald, but he looked like Gallagher. That's what it was. But he could sing Hagar.
Sure, crap good.
Yeah, it could. I mean, just this tribute thing has gotten just crazy. And I'll tell you what really drives it, I think, too, is that the bands are older or they're not around.
Right.
Or, and you're not getting to see a classic version of whatever it is that you want to see. Well, you can go to these tribute bands and get pretty close.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a Motley Crue one. There's a Motley Crue one where they sound like they did on Shout at the Devil. They sound better than what Motley Crue sounds today.
Speaking of that, which I'm glad you did it, we've only got a limited amount of time left, and we're going to end up having to skip one of the stories, but we'll post it on our social media. But for the first time in over a year, in nearly a year, Vince Neil returns to the stage and did a performance in Boston just Friday night back on the 1st of August with his solo band at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway there in Boston. Also appearing on that bill were Bret Michaels and Stephen Pearcy. The performance is online. You can watch it. You can see what's going on. I know you have some thoughts on this. Watch the performance. There's a lot of things. I don't want to pass judgment on this whatsoever. I do to you when we're off the air, just, we're being funny, whatever. There's some stuff that's obviously went on with Vince Neil. He's had this mystery medical thing that made them cancel the Vegas stunt that they had going on, the stint that they had, not a stunt, the Vegas stint. Rescheduled. It's supposed to start next month, if I'm not mistaken. I'm genuinely concerned that that's going to be able to happen. And I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to let you have it.
Right, and that is the concern of a lot of people is, will Vince be able to get up to speed where he was 2 years ago, even? I was listening to people call in, and I'll talk about Eddie Trunk. I was listening to Eddie Trunk and people calling in that had went to those shows. I think they were in Tampa. These were.
Okay.
And it was the same three bands, and they rave about Pearcy, they rave about Bret Michaels, and they were just glad that Vince made it there. And basically saying he didn't sound any worse. They didn't think per se, but they were concerned because they were glad that he had made it. Because I think even one night he might have been late, and there was some concern that he wouldn't be there at all. So yeah, I think there's some trepidation as to whether he can make the Vegas residency happen in 40 days.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, he's out there doing these little shows. The one you talked about was in Boston. The one I'm talking about was in Tampa. So that's something.
And if people are still going to pay to see Motley Crue and or Vince Neil, whatever, good. And I know we throw a lot of shade towards Motley Crue just because of some of the stupid stuff they've done. But I'll give mad props to Vince Neil. He was probably told, I think I read this somewhere, he was told he should never get back on stage again, or he wouldn't be able to. And he said, yeah, that's not happening. And he's back on stage. He may not sound like you said, he may not sound like the Vince Neil 2 years ago, but he sure as crap sounds better than you and I up on stage.
Well, and that, I think he made that announcement to the crowd as well, that the doctors told him that.
Right.
And he basically, flipped him to the bird and told him that ain't happening. He's going to die with his boots on, I guess. Bret Michaels during this show in Tampa made a reference to the medical issues that Vince has had, and that he understands them because he's went through the same things. So he's just glad he's here.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, this was announced on stage, I'll tell you something about the pricing that was interesting. They were saying, same show. One guy spent $50, said he would go again for $50. You see Piercy, Brett Michaels is amazing, and Vince Neil's alive. We get to, it's great. Next guy calls in, says he spent $157, and he felt like that was a lot of money, so he was glad that Vince Neil was alive and showed up, right? Third guy calls in. He waited day of the show. It wasn't moving very quickly. He spent $11, him and his buddy. $11. They show up. They get an offer to pay an extra $20 to move up front. They get front row seats for $31. What's that tell you about some of the concerts that are out there?
Right, exactly. So,
but they all raved about Brett Michaels. They all raved about Stephen Piercy, and they were just glad that we got to see Vince Neil, which is still something. People still want to see him. That's pretty impressive right there. If he does this residency and people are happy with it, good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll still throw shade once in a while, but at least Vince Neil's still around, and we're not mourning, his retirement, his demise, whatever. And more power to him. But I'll still talk trash. But whatever. As a matter of fact, you can tune in next week and hear us talk more trash about whoever's out there. And I'm going to find a Motley Crue story to talk trash about.
Or Skid Row.
Or Skid Row, just especially for the Viper. Remember, we're on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to tune in. And although we do not want any messages about our car warranties because we don't care, we'll just block the number. Be sure to give us a call at 747-333-8977. Give us your questions, your thoughts on whatever band you're listening to. If there's a band that's local to you, pass their information on to us either via email or by that number again. I'll give you the number. It's 747-333-8977. It's
well
almost
done.
like, thanks. It's almost like a commercial. Oh, speaking of commercials, there was this one